Margaret Kuhlman of Soul Astrology. Aquarius is a wonderful sign, impossible to pin down. It's only the Aquarius in each one of us that's able to have a clue as to where it's looking from. Although there is the detachment that gives Aquarius its special clear view, each of us has our own way of being detached, our own place, our own activities that give us the freedom to look back at our life and get it all in perspective. So it would depend for yourself very much where you have Aquarius in your chart, which house it occupies, to show you the kind of activity that will give you freedom, and which planet is involved. And if no planet is involved in Aquarius directly, it will be more a matter of how your Uranus is placed. Uranus being the ruling planet, the planet whose energy is most like the Aquarian qualities. At least Uranus brings us the modern qualities through its relationship with electricity, the lightning bolt that makes the nighttime scene brilliant in a storm, and then is gone as fast as it came. A flash of illumination on any level, and the sparkiness of our nervous system, its suddenness, the way we are galvanized when excited by some idea or project or situation. So trying to pin down Aquarius and describe the character of a sun sign Aquarius person, or the moon, is doomed to failure, and the Aquarian will always be able to correct what you said. All we can know about each other's Aquarian nature is that everyone has a need for freedom in some aspect of themselves. And of course the freedom that Uranus is really teaching us about is inner freedom. The Aquarius clear vision can only be attained by going inside and rising to a place where the emotions can be seen below, as it were, like the sea rippling away. The mistake Aquarius can make is to think that they are in that clear vision. But the rippling sea is also part of every human being. The emotions are there, and if they're not examined, if they are avoided, looked away from, levitated above, and forgotten, what was a small fish that could have been dealt with becomes a monster. Aquarius often avoids their emotions because they're afraid of the monster that may have grown in the deep. This month the new moon is sextile Uranus, so this bid for freedom is very strong. And Uranus is at right angles to this opposition between Venus-Pluto in Capricorn and Jupiter in Cancer. So we're very much likely to find ourselves flipping between those two experiences, the depths of the emotions and the breaking free. The important thing is to give ourselves freedom as soon as it becomes at all suggested by our own system. 5 minutes of freedom is all we need sometimes. The freedom just to have a joke with somebody or gaze out of the window for a moment. It allows the systems of the body to relax before we pull our attention back into the emotional field. In those moments of breaking away, we give ourselves space to be inspired by some new idea that could not have risen out of where we were. The solution to a problem that can't arrive on the level the problem is. The square relationships, that T-square, does suggest that it could be a tendency to cut off from what is becoming a practical necessity, which is why this suggestion is being made here. Take the break early and come back quickly, because otherwise there may well be a need to break, to actually actively leave a situation, a person or a project, because we just can't stand it anymore, is the feeling. There is, however, this need to have these breaks, this gap, this looking clearly back at what you were a moment before embroiled in, because Chiron is so closely involved with that opposition. Chiron in Pisces, the ills of the world, the suffering of humanity, our own extraordinary sufferings, which are so difficult to describe in words. This is what will be rising. Absolutely essential to look at it. And desirable to look at it, because these will be the moments where healing is possible. And the healing, Chiron sextiles Pluto and Venus. The healing is to do with our deep relationships. Jupiter in Cancer is suggesting they may be family relationships that have seemed like permanent rifts, impossible to carry on, rejected long since, and yet here let them come again. If anyone in your life who has died was a problem to you in life, it may be that that soul is hovering now, waiting to be reconciled. So let them come near. A friend of mine said a beautiful thing the other day, that love is forgiving. We're here to give love. It's everywhere. It flows through us. We're made of it. So it's not to be received as such, because we already have it. It is to be shared. And love as forgiving is perhaps the true meaning of forgive. So in this light, let us forgive and let fall away past pains, past misunderstandings, past betrayals. The quincunx between the new moon and Jupiter is telling us the essence of this chart, that the clear vision is to serve us this month so that the healing can be truly transformative. By the time we get to the full moon chart, the Sun has moved round to Mercury. Mercury, having made a little essay into Pisces, has come back into Aquarius again. And the moon is opposing from Leo, of course. Saturn squares them both. So once again there is this flipping between two ways of being. The full moon with moon in Leo is very much being able to see the upbeat side of the problems. Mercury with its clear delivery in Aquarius, speaking the truth. Planet that helps us, that suggests that it's not going to be all about hurting people on those deep emotional levels where Saturn is Mars. Mars trining the Sun, Mercury, and sextiling the Moon from Libra, telling us exactly how to be honest, how to bring that light-heartedness, that humour that makes difficult situations so seeable, so doable, telling us that the way is kindness, to offer your humour kindly, to offer your vision kindly, to work with someone as an equal, and not use your clearer vision to make yourself superior. So kindness, non-judgmental, drop the egoic view. We all have an ego. On an egoic level we are also all equal in value as human beings. And the Chiron, Venus, Pluto and Jupiter continue to give us that background focus that all this is around relationships. Our relationship not just with each other, but with the world itself, the earth, nature, finance, our possessions, all our relationships. The family is the whole world, the whole of humanity, to be nurtured and to allow to nurture us, to be one family. And out of this experience of the month, perhaps we come to a more firm place in these relationships, a stronger foundation from which to grapple with the big changes that are going on around us. Sometimes it may feel as if we're standing on the brink of a precipice. At some point in everyone's life, there will be a moment of feeling as though we are standing on a precipice, maybe many such moments. That moment of being poised, between what feels solid, grounded, historically there, and all that is potentially frightening, only if we are tense and let ourselves feel unsafe. These are not moments for leaping off the precipice. It's a moment of standing between heaven and earth and expanding to contain them both. Thank you. Touching the edge of the precipice, can I jump, knowing not if I can fly? And considering all responsibilities, who will miss me if I go? Rocks and grass at my feet, and the vast blue space that calls my soul. Is it not time to go now? And yet how can I leave? Yours is not to leave this dear ground, this earth. Yours is to be here and look, so that the vision is available to all who seek, and nothing is lost. Hold the blue beyond lightly in your mind, and the dear earth in your heart, and know that life supports your efforts to grow with love